How you doing? Mr. DJ is here, back to my YouTube channel. How you doing tonight? Or should I say this morning? It is morning in here in Tuscaloosa. Well, it's 15 past midnight here in Tuscaloosa, so it is officially morning, April 4th, 2017, going back to Billboard's Hot 100 about 42 years ago, week of April 12th, 1975. Let me read you the top 5 hits from that week in April 12th, 1975, songs that you're probably very familiar with. At number 5, we got Poetry Man by Phoebe Snow. That was on the charts for 18 weeks. On Billboard's Hot 100 for 18 weeks. Express by BT Express at number 4. The No No song by Ringo Starr. That was a funny record about marijuana. That guy had I actually appreciate Ringo Starr. I particularly appreciate that song a lot more now than I did at the time. Ringo Starr with his tongue-in-cheek sense of humor, reverent, well, you get the word, sense of humor. That's at number 3. Loving You by Minnie Riperton at number 1. And we got, well, number 2, rather. It was number 1 the week before. Elton John's Philadelphia Freedom at number 1. It was on Billboard's Hot 100 for 1 week. But now let's go to number 92 on Billboard's Hot 100. Making its debut, didn't get anywhere near the top 40. But he's been around, though. This fellow from Wales, number 92, making its debut, SpiderJiving by Andy Fairweather-Low. Andy Fairweather-Low, he's from Wales, made his first big splash in the late 60s. He was in the band Amen Corner. Amen Corner, they were a huge band in England in the late 60s. No hits here in the States. One of their famous hits in Britain was their cover of Bid Me, Shake Me. Top 10 in England. Around the spring of 1968, maybe a little bit earlier, you may remember that American Breed had a hit with it on the state side. So that was an interesting situation. Early in 68, had American Breed with their version of Bid Me, Shake Me, and Amen Corner in England having their version of Bid Me, Shake Me. Their biggest hit, though, was in 69, went to number 1, If Paradise Is Half As Nice. That was in 69. The band split up in 1970, but Andy Fairweather-Low didn't waste any time forming a new band. It was called Fairweather, just called Fairweather, and they had a hit in the summer of 1970 in England called Natural Sinner, but the album from which that song came from didn't chart. He left after about a year. Pursued a solo career. He released about 4 solo albums up to 1980. One of them was SpiderJiving, and that's where the single came from, SpiderJiving. One of his biggest hits in England was Wide-Eyed and Legless. That was in Christmas of 1975. Love those novelty songs. A lot of them in England back in the day. SpiderJiving, though, didn't do much of anything here in the States. I'll bring it up for you real quick. It debuted at 92. It got as high as 87. It was on Billboard's Hot 100 for 3 weeks. But Andy Fairweather-Low, he was a very busy man back in the day. He sang backup on the Who's Who Are You in 1978. That's right, he sang backup on some of the other tracks on that album as well. He's worked with Roger Waters, Joe Satriani. He played guitar on Eric Clapton's From the Cradle album. That came out in 1994. That was a blues album. I mean, straight blues. I mean, Eric Clapton, big on the blues. And this song, SpiderJiving, it's got a bluesy feel to it, but was just not a hit here in the States. But there it is on Billboard's Hot 100 coming in, making its debut at 92, the week of April 12th, 1975.